Is this thing on?
High school marching band can be a lot of things. It can be grueling, it can be ruthless, but most importantly, it can be very memorable. I played trombone in my high school's marching band from my freshman year to my senior year. In that amount of time, you tend to make a lot of memories. That is 4 whole years of your life, especially in marching band where you're putting up so many hours into per week. There was just one event though. One event stood above everything else. An event that was so deviously destructive, and an event that was so maliciously malevolent that it goes down in our marching band's history as one of the most memorable events to ever happen in the history of our marching band. Now, the truth may be I'm hyping this story up to be way more than it actually is, but it was pretty memorable, and it was one of the most fun events that we've ever been part of, and people kept bringing it up every year afterwards, so yeah, I thought it was pretty important. The story takes place about September 2022, about my sophomore year of high school. My marching band was at a place called Marshall in Minnesota, about a couple hours away from where I lived at the time, which was Sioux City, Iowa. We were in Marshall for the local marching band competition. We went there, we played, and we were getting ready to pack up and go home. Like any other marching band competition, we all load the bus. I take my seat, I'm sat next to my friend Kale and my friend Nico sitting right behind me. In our little caravan of buses, there were 3 buses. I chose to ride bus 3, which was commonly dubbed the party bus. Much to many people's dismay, I loved it. We were going to do our normal party bus thing. We were going to eat a ton of food, sing a lot of music, make a bunch of noise in the back, be a bunch of hooligans, and then listen to our own music and nod off to sleep like we normally do. After falling asleep for about an hour or two, most likely listening to Third Eye Blind at the time, the buses came to a sudden stop. It was pitch black outside, in the middle of an Iowan cornfield. We weren't even on like a highway road anymore. We were on a dirt road. I mean, it was actually pitch black dark out there. This is an actual picture I got later when I got off the bus. There was some light panic going around the bus. People were asking why we stopped. People were asking where were we. People were asking we're kind of in the middle of nowhere. And then we got it. We got a Snapchat from someone on the first bus. We were in the third bus way back in the back. Someone from the first bus up front had a video of a farmer banging on the door of the bus. And obviously that's concerning because, why is this old man wanting on the bus and why is he yelling at us? So it actually turns out our bus driver, I don't know what came over them, went the complete wrong way and in fact hit a road close sign and went right around it. For whatever sense, I guess. We were completely and utterly lost. The bus driver claimed, well, actually, I took this route to get to the competition. Well, clearly not, buddy. Miraculously, we were able to turn the bus around using a 3-point turn on a bus, which is pretty crazy on the bus driver standard, which is already set pretty low. One of the adults announces that we have to move the road close sign, so we have to get some volunteers to do so. A couple of kids volunteer themselves to move the sign back, most notably Memo, who will be mentioned very heavily in the story later on. I was pretty bored and intrigued, so having the survival instincts of a hamster, I also got up to go outside into the pitch black and move the sign back. So I step off the bus. It is completely shrouded in darkness out there. It is quite literally the middle of the night. No one's around, and there is just miles and miles of corn surrounding us. There were actually 2 signs that got moved. I helped move one of them, and then I was like, man, I'm kind of bored. I'm getting back on the bus. So I ended up just getting back on the bus. Now, back in 2022, the big thing at the time was skinwalkers and just how kind of scary they were. So we saw Memo out there. We saw him moving out the other side. And we were like, wait, I just saw Memo load the bus. Wait, I just saw Memo disappear out there. I think Memo's a skinwalker. I think Memo's a skinwalker. And that's what everyone was saying. And that's when I look over to my friend sitting across from me. He was geeked out of his mind on probably like 12 different edibles. It was crazy. I mean, if Cloud 9 was the standard, he was probably on like Cloud 12. It was crazy. He looked at me dead in the eyes and he goes, Memo's a skinwalker? Memo's a skinwalker? At the time, we were 100% being assholes. But even nowadays, he thinks it's funny that we did this. After about 10 more minutes, not a skinwalker Memo gets on the bus and we get ready to go back to Sioux City. It's already really late, so as soon as we start heading back, I put on my headphones and I just go right back to sleep. I believe we arrived back at the high school around 2 a.m., which was pretty damn late, expecting that our normal arrival time was about to be midnight, so we were a little late. Later the next day, we find out that Bus 2 didn't even get in this whole situation. They were just gone. They were missing, and they showed up later than us, which was pretty, how? How did they even get away from us? That's about all that happened. Everyone went back to school the next day like it was nothing, and everyone just kept talking about it, really, just like referencing it. People kept talking about Farmer Joe, like Farmer Joe this, Farmer Joe that. Farmer Joe came to my house last night and probably stole my dog, but just Farmer Joe was the main central point. I mean, even on my last day of band class, my senior year, people were still talking about it. I mean, it was like the low taper fade meme. The fact that I'm even bringing it up now ages me like 5 years, but it's just, it was fun. You know, I don't want to say it again. So anyways, that was my silly little story time over the bus event from my sophomore year of high school. I hope you enjoyed. This was definitely for an English project, and I think that's really cool how all my videos on my YouTube channel are for projects for school, which I think is funny and kind of a fun thing in itself. I need to stop saying the word fun. I'm so done. Now, this video was sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.